says we're live. Huh, I think we were supposed to be live. Who knew? At any rate, hi, I'm Stephanie Van Vark, and I'm pointing the wrong way. The young lady that you see in this corner is actually me. And if I should say so myself, I look really good. And the reason why I look really good is because of the young lady that we are interviewing today, Rory Lee. We will bring her on board. There you are. How you doing today?
I remember that photo shoot. It was amazing. Good morning, Stephanie. How are you?
I'm great, great, great. Okay, so I got a heads up. Somehow we're live.
With all the technological challenges we've had this morning, it's a blessing that we're even together. And so hugs through cyberspace.
Exactly. Y'all got to know this was an interesting morning, and we both decided neither one of us should leave our day job for technology. So
No.
the technical world is safe. So thank you for joining us this morning. And I shared before that you are the reason why when I do look really, really good, it is you. Makeup by Rory. Can you tell us who you are and what you do?
Yes, I can. I'm blessed. I'm honored, and I'm privileged to be here. And I'm grateful to be your friend, Stephanie, as well as to be a freelancer on your production crew. I've had the honor and the privilege of working with both you and your amazing cinematographer husband in the years past. My name is Rory Lee. I'm the CEO of Makeup by Rory Incorporated. It started off with these two hands and building a business of beauty with being a makeup artist, being a global makeup artist, and then quickly growing the company to the point where I needed to add hands on deck. So we've evolved into an incredible team of hair, makeup, and wardrobe stylists. And on any given day, we could be on multiple different jobs at the same time to take care of all of our clients. I then continued to go back to my first love, which was skin, and got my licensing as an esthetician and a professional skin therapist. So I operate out of two different locations, taking care of people, men and women both, with their skin as a licensed esthetician. I always have had a love and a purpose and passion to support and give back to the community. As a volunteer, I started teaching makeup artist workshops because I wanted young ladies to realize that their beauty comes from within. That's how it began. It turned into a 501c3, and we encourage and enrich and support the lives of others, partnering with multiple other nonprofits and teaching these workshops. And so our Girls Enrichment Program evolved, knowing that I needed the extra ancillary funding for our girls. God kept planting it in my spirit that I needed to start a makeup line because those funds will not only provide the products that I need for myself and for my team on set, but also to provide those products to our clients so that they have, made for the woman on the go, so that they would have the products to just spruce up their look on any given day. And then it turned out that those extra added funds helped us to continue to grow our nonprofit initiative in the community.
Okay.
That's me in a nutshell.
Okay. So you've been on the show before. You actually were one of my first guests. I want to thank you again for that. On that production, we definitely had a little technical difficulties too.
Well, it was during the pandemic as well, so
really
that
was.
certainly didn't help when everyone was shifting to doing things on cyberspace.
Absolutely. That's true. That's very true. But at that time, we talked a lot about at that time. What was your pivot plan? Where were you thinking about evolving? I think that was when you first started looking into licensing as an esthetician, and now you're into locations, and that's been 2 short years. So I really kind of wanted to delve into that's a really quick turnaround. So were you intentional? Did you develop a strategic plan, or were you sort of just kind of building on it as you went along? What was the thought process to get to that point?
Well, I've always been a firm believer that if God gave us all of the information all at once, that we would freeze and not do anything.
That's gotta be true.
So, and then on the other hand, you have to think about the fact that you're going to keep getting the lesson until you get the lesson. And
Mhm.
you're going to keep hearing what it is that, in your mind, and bringing your purpose and your passion together, what you could be or should be doing. And if you're not doing it, you're going to keep getting that lesson over and over again.
I agree.
Um, Many, many years ago, I didn't realize when I went to the University of Miami and I studied 5 years of chemistry on the 4-year plan, mostly because of my goofing off in my freshman year. I think a lot of students goofed off in their
Yes.
freshman year, right? That's like
I'm
trying to find
guilty.
our way,
I'm guilty.
in Miami.
I'm guilty.
Yeah, like, it's crazy that I studied the chemistry, and I realized very quickly that I had to take artistic and musical classes
Mhm.
surrounding my sciences, because that was what kept me focused.
Right.
Being an artist kept me focused to pay attention to the analytical.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
I loved the arts. I mean, crazy things that I would love to re-enter when I have time, like batiking and paper mache and tie dyeing and shellacking and jewelry making and macrame. And even to this day, I can't sit on my couch without doodling or doing something or coloring.
Right. Right.
And I realized that I really didn't want to pursue a career in the sciences. I tried the medical, I tried the dental medical. I even took my DATs to get into dental medical school, and realized
Okay.
that I really didn't have a desire for that. It wasn't what was floating my boat, so to speak.
Right.
And
Right.
and then from there, I went into fashion and
Okay.
started importing and exporting products. And we're talking way back in the day before my kids were even born, importing and exporting products between here, overseas, and the Bahamas, which is where I
Okay.
grew up. And realizing that that was really where my purpose was,
Mhm.
I fell into putting makeup on ladies' faces as a favor, like friends, like, hey, do my makeup, do my makeup. And to me, that was an extension of my artistic creativity,
Right.
using the human face as my palette. And once I realized that that was a gift that God gave me, I
Mhm.
took it seriously and I pursued it and I grew it. But skincare and skin treatment was always, an interest for me, and a
Right.
passion for me. And so
Right.
therefore, I made the decision, with expanding my business and growing as a global makeup artist with a global makeup company, that productions reach out to me all the time from all over the world. And I have lived in other countries and traveled to other countries, that was something that I would be able to create a viable business, not only for myself, but for others to learn and to grow and to profit from.
Right.
And
Right.
so here I am all these years later, and I realize that, I think that going back to the skincare and the aesthetics, and realizing that now that we're becoming more savvy with what we put on our skin, that
Mhm.
I wanted to have a product line that would not only look good and be great for camera, but be in a hybrid product that would be more consolidated and
Right.
having skincare integrated ingredients in that product line.
Okay.
That's why I decided to go back to school, so that I can further my knowledge on what ingredients really work, to really enhance a woman's beauty, and also men's grooming. So a man's handsomeness, because I have a lot of men that are on camera and they still want to look natural and fresh
Right.
and healthy looking skin too. And so that's why, school is never out for the pros, Stephanie. I've gone back and gotten multiple certifications, multiple, licenses over the years. And, we can never stop growing. Why would we want to stay stuck where we are?
Exactly. But it's interesting because as you were talking about, you went and got a chemistry degree, um, and now have gone back to get licensing in this specialty. one of the things I think we miss as an opportunity as a young person is what something that is just because it was a chemistry major did not mean that it wasn't something you could apply later in this makeup world. What all the opportunities that are out there from that stem from something like chemistry or technology or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Speak a little bit about that. Has this chemistry major ultimately helped you with creating your makeup? How has that now leaned into your passion?
I know it's amazing because, and I tell my young mentees all the time to learn and grow and to study. Education is key. Education is a part of your beauty, and we didn't know about STEM and then turning it
Mhm.
into STEAM. Science, technology. The A in STEAM for arts.
Right.
Creating the science and the science of skin and learning as much as we can. It's like creating this beautiful tapestry
Right.
and building upon it. You learn something and then you master that and then you continue to grow and you learn something new and then you master that and you continue to grow. Science is something that can be utilized in a plethora of different
Right.
careers.
Right.
You
Right. Right.
don't have to be a nurse or a doctor or a dentist or, anything
Right.
that has to be a part of the medical technology, but science is a part of our life. Science is a part of our existence and our being. So why not learn as much as we can? And I didn't realize it, but at the time, and I kind of felt like and Mama Rosa, she's smiling down at me from heaven now, but she would say, "Oh, you could have been a dentist." And I'm like, "Yeah, Ma, but what's your point?"
I'm happy
And then
to
she continued to brag about me, to all of her friends, like, "You see that commercial? Or look at that movie. My daughter, did the makeup for that movie. She did, she's the one that works with this station and that station." So she was proud of me on one hand, for taking the the initiative to really
right.
be independent and to take what she was guiding me to do one thing, but God was guiding me to do something else.
Exactly. But that's the beauty of really, as you mentioning, educating yourself, because although being a dentist and or any of that was not your path, you're still able to use what you learn to
Yes.
pursue your passion, and that's even a possibility. Had you not really done the research and the education, it never would have even been possible. So I'm very intrigued that you still able to use that to support what you're doing
Yes.
today.
Yes. Yes. Suffered through
So
organic chemistry
I
twice.
told you, I think one time I was in a workshop. It worked. It worked. Thank goodness. So I
Amen.
told you one time I took a workshop where we talked a lot about what industries survive challenging times. We talked about, hurricanes, when hurricanes come through, the 2008 housing bust, and of course, recently the pandemic. In that workshop, one of the things that came out, or one of the industries that seems to survive all of that, um, is the beauty industry. For some reason, somehow, beauty always seems to rise to the top in different ways and different shades, but it always seems to rise to the top.
Yeah.
I'm interested to hear why you think that is. One of the areas that survives, and then during the pandemic, were you confident that was going to be the case, or were you too trying to
Absolutely.
figure out what next?
Absolutely. My lipstick sales may have dropped
Mhm,
because we were wearing a mask. But then the self-care and the skincare and the eye care business,
mhm.
that started blossoming. Everyone wanted
Oh,
to take better care of their eyebrows and make sure that they had a good, clean beauty mascara to use so that their
mhm,
lashes were on point. Um, Skincare and skin treatment is a part of self-care. I mean,
mhm.
our skin is a living organ, and I realized very early on that the three industries that were always recession proof were alcohol, tobacco, and
That's true.
and it's a quick fix in a sense. I mean, my mama was in the entertainment and beauty business when she was young, and her photos, like, she was like one of those Sophia Loren, uh,
Um,
Elizabeth Taylor kind of glamour women, coming from the south of Italy. And she would tell me about the stories where they would take the men's mustache wax and
mhm.
melt it in a spoon and take a toothpick, and then they would take that wax and extend it on their lashes, and that's how they did their lash extension.
Wow.
I would hear these stories, and it intrigued me, but I was always a nature girl. I was always like a natural beauty kind of a person,
Mhm.
where I guess probably because I really didn't understand that my true beauty came from within, and that's why I'm on such a mission
Uh-huh.
to share that information now. Um, and I think that because of that, when a woman knows that she looks good from the inside, from the heart, soul, and spirit, that's
Mhm. I
where her beauty
agree.
comes from. And so our main mantra with our Girls Enrichment Program, and also with the Rory Lee makeup line, is beauty from within, and
Mhm.
beauty comes within all hues. Beauty comes in all hues, meaning all
Right,
colors.
right.
So, it was like one of those things that I learned early on, with the prejudice in the 60s here in the States, and then we moved to the Bahamas to live permanently because
Mhm.
we couldn't deal with the whole too white to be black, too black to be white. It
Right,
was a very, uneasy time in the United States, but we didn't suffer through that in the islands because it was like one love, one color,
right,
so to
right,
speak. And that's where I began to realize that I am beautiful. It doesn't
right.
matter what my hair looks like. It doesn't matter what my skin looks like or what my skin tone or hue looks like. What
Mhm.
matters is that my beauty comes from within. The
Right.
kindness that I share, the love that I share, the gift of encouragement that God gave me.
Mhm.
I want
Mhm.
to walk into a room, and I realized this, as a young adult raising my children, I want to be able to walk into a room and make someone feel better.
Right,
So
right,
nothing is going to come out of my mouth that's unwholesome,
right. That's
and
true.
yeah, you know
That's
me.
it.
You know
Yeah,
me
that's
personally.
very true. I can speak to that for sure. Even when I'm sitting there with no makeup on going, "What are you gonna do with all this?" You're like, "No, we're gonna make this."
Yeah, you gave me the beautiful canvas to begin with. So makeup and skincare and skin treatment has evolved into this major self-care
Mhm, mhm.
industry, and rightly so, because if we don't take care of our skin the same way we want to make sure that we're mindful and putting good products, and good foods in our body, is the same way that we
Mhm.
want to be mindful and make sure that we put good things on our skin as well. Your face is yours for the rest of your life.
So let's so here's my question though. It's become what I feel to be a very competitive world. Back in the day, there were what, three cosmetics lines, I think
Yeah.
Revlon, you know what I mean? Now, both hair and makeup has exploded. It's been beautiful, really, to watch a lot of new lines, folks right out of their kitchen creating stuff and be able to create these huge, magnificent brands. But it's also got to be highly competitive. When I walk in, when I do go get makeup, a lot of times I'm standing there going, I don't even know where to begin. Like I just don't even know. So how do you, as a makeup line, start to develop a marketing strategy that sets you apart from everyone else?
It's all about the mission. It's all about the
Okay.
purpose. It's all about meeting the needs of my clientele and my target market.
Okay.
People don't realize that a lot of the brands are still owned by these major conglomerates.
Mhm, mhm,
Like one
mhm.
brand may own 34 brands underneath, but if you look at them individually, they look different. The packaging is different. The target market is different. The products may also be different. But
Right.
for me, I just felt like, living a life of authenticity,
Right.
that my makeup line had to exemplify the fact that we were complementing and enhancing a woman's natural beauty.
Okay.
And that beauty comes from within. So it's not about changing, my makeup line is not the type of makeup line that will, and to each his own. So I say this with a loving heart, because there's something for everyone, but my makeup line will not, change your features to look like someone else. That's not the point of my brand. My brand is made to enhance a woman's natural beauty, and it's
Okay.
for the woman on the go, whether that woman is a career woman or she's a stay-at-home career woman at home, managing the lives of her family and her children,
Mhm.
or she may be doing both. A lot of my clients were doing both. They were professionals and educated and career women, but they were operating from home because of the pandemic, especially. And then
Mhm.
also taking care of, they became the teacher and the home schooler for their children at different age groups. So here they are juggling, career and family and everything else. And I know I did that as a young mom. By the time I was 25, Stephanie, I already had 3 kids and I was still a kid myself.
Right.
And so
To figure out how to keep these little people alive.
and I also had a career.
Uh-huh.
I was in management training and product development, and I put 20, no, I put in 1 year alone on American Airlines, I put 90,000 miles on that one airline alone, and all three of my children were under the age of 5. So
Wow.
being a mom, 3 kids, young, the superwoman syndrome, thinking I could do
Mhm.
it all, and of course, eventually, I burnt out.
Right.
You know,
Right.
but we don't have to burn out because if we learn how to have that harmony in our lives, life may not be 100% balanced in any given week, but that doesn't mean that we don't have the harmony in our lives.
Okay.
And we may have to go, and same thing with you and I being in production. We may have multiple days in a row of 12-hour days or 10-hour days, and then all of a sudden we have 3 or 4 days free. So what are we going to do with those three or
And
four
3 more days that are precisely.
rebalance. Let's create a
Right.
harmony in our lives
Mhm.
so that we can do it all. So I just I just think it's important that we don't look to the left and we don't look to the right, but that we just follow our own path to
Right.
create what's best for each and every one of us. And so my brand speaks to that woman.
Okay. Okay.
Rory Lee makeup is all about, supporting the woman on the go. If you only have 60 or 90 seconds in the morning to pull yourself together, or, in the parking lot, dropping kids off to school, or right before you go into an office or a meeting, then
Mhm.
my brand will speak to you, being able to do that, and I'm always accessible and my team is always accessible because we have the hybrid products that will make it work. The ingredients that are healthy and clean and vegan that will make it work so that it just assimilates onto the skin and makes you look your absolute best with minimal amount of time and minimal amount of product.
Does your team use your product when they are on film sets
A lot of them
only?
do.
Exclusively? Okay.
Yes, a lot of them do. I mean,
Is
I
that a
have,
requirement or
pardon me?
is that a requirement or that's just their preference?
It's a preference, and I also have
Mhm.
makeup artist friends and makeup artist colleagues that utilize my products, and I extend the
Okay.
pro discount to them, of course, but they utilize my products because they're great. I mean,
Okay.
I have a makeup artist colleague of mine that ordered the photochromatic pro palette with all the shades because as global artists and as professionals working on a Lifetime movie, and
Right.
she, of course, sent me kudos back, like, "Oh my gosh, these powders are amazing. I need to reorder more."
Okay,
So,
cool.
we have a great team, and some of them have come from other backgrounds with other makeup brands that are in their kit. But those who choose to use the makeup line, I give them that creative freedom.
Mhm.
But those who choose the makeup line are very pleased with it. And now we're in 2 retail stores and we're also global. We,
Okay.
we launched in Kigali, Africa, and we're planning to continue that growth now that the pandemic is over
Ooh.
and we're able to travel again. We're looking at going there. There's a spa in Kigali that has the makeup line, and the models for their photo shoots are beautiful. So they use the products,
Very nice.
when they're doing the makeup, which is great. So it's not like it's something that's mandatory, but we do have operating procedures in place. We do have set, set life protocol,
Okay.
and procedures, sanitary procedures, and, different protocols that are in place as a company and as a
Right.
brand because they're representing me when they're on set. But
Absolutely. Yeah.
as far as, mandating that they have to use my brand, I'm not going to be that kind of authoritarian type of person.
Yeah.
But I mean, my brand stands up to any other brand that's out there.
See, and that's okay. So the fact that you just kind of casually threw in your global. Again, I remember our conversation before the pandemic, and we were talking about, what your plan was and ideas around the makeup and getting back. And it's just been wonderful. And I guess that's one of the reasons why I wanted to interview you, but to see you come out of the pandemic, I feel better than when you
Yeah.
with the makeup line is global. You've now really gotten back into the film, you know, heavily because, as the film industry shut down for like a year, maybe,
Yes.
or so. So it's been nice to see that coming back. What's the plan for here? What is your growth plan from here? Do you feel like this is something that how do you want to grow this? Is it just the makeup? Is it all of it? How are you thinking about this?
I forecast that we will continue to expand our company and our business model
Okay.
because if I have the opportunity to share my talent, if you have a talent and I have one and the two of us share, then two of us will walk away with two talents, right?
Mhm,
I mean,
mhm,
that's a grounded principle of the universe and of God that He wants us to share our gifts and our talents and our
mhm.
abilities with others. So I'm grateful that I'm able to, to transfer my skills and to share and to help other artists grow their businesses. And it's in a non-compete manner. If they're working for me, of course, it's non-exclusive and non-compete. But
Right.
but the intellectual property that I'm sharing with them, they're applying it to their own company and growing their own business. And
Okay.
as a result of it, we have an amazingly loving and loyal crew. And
Mhm.
so, people know that if they see an artist that goes on set and they have that Rory Lee t-shirt on, that they're going to get the level of excellence and professionalism and set
Mhm.
call, on set protocols that they would get whether it's me or it's someone else that I'm sending, which is a blessing because I can only be in one place at a time and our business
Mhm.
continues to flourish and grow. And so if I can help other people grow in their entrepreneurship, and grow in their skills, then that's a great thing. It's a great
Exactly.
thing. Being a makeup artist is just a talent, but how do you expand that? How do you grow that business? How do you take care of and how do you set the standard where people will call you and book you and then continue to book you? And so a lot of our clients have been working with me for the past 15, 20 years.
Okay, great, great, great. So, what challenges do you have? So, we've established that the makeup industry is one of those industries that never can always, I won't say it never has any challenges, but can transcend troubling times. What are some of your challenges, both in terms of the product, the industry itself, and then maybe are there some internal challenges? I know for me, I struggle a lot with, my age. I'll own that I'm that person that feels like I should have done this 200, 20 years ago. Why am I just doing this now? What are some of the things that you look at as a challenge, both internally and within the company?
Well, age is not a challenge for me. I don't feel I am who I am and I own it, and that's
Mhm,
one of the main
mhm.
reasons why I made the decision 7 years ago to stop dyeing my hair and to transition to my natural hair color.
Right.
And in addition to transitioning to my natural hair color, I also made the decision to trans to go to my natural texture. So
Uh-huh.
it took a minute, and I had to like really own that and be confident in that
Mhm,
transition process because when you go from hair down to your waist that's dark brown
mhm,
to and straight because of the blow drying and the flat ironing and the roller
mhm.
setting and spending 8 hours in the salon, that whole process to a natural hair color and natural hair texture, that to me helped to exemplify that I'm walking the walk and living a life of authenticity.
That's true.
So I don't, being a young mom and now being a young Grammy, my grandchildren call me Grammy. I have 11 grandchildren.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's a total blessing. And I say to my granddaughters, out of the 11, 3 are girls, and I say to them, I'm doing this for you. I'm building this
Right.
company is for you. We're building a legacy together.
Very nice.
And
Very
so even though they're young, they get it. They understand
right.
what I'm
Right.
talking about. And it gives them a sense of pride, and it gives me a sense of pride. And it's my why. Why am I doing this? I'm doing
Every
this to
day.
help mentor my team, most of which are, 20 and 30 and even 40 years younger than me. I'm doing this to mentor my nonprofit and the young ladies that I support and encourage through our Girls Enrichment program, and I'm doing this for my community and for my family.
Right.
And
Right.
so that has allowed me to not have an internal struggle, Stephanie.
Okay.
You
Very
know,
good.
and everybody has their own walk. Everyone has their own set of challenges, and if I can be truly authentic and honest, I will say that the biggest challenge that I had was after having been married for 25 years, and then all of a sudden I'm suddenly single,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
I was a young wife, so I really never knew how that whole dating thing went. And so, uh, you know,
You learning that on the curve now.
I was in my 40s, but because I was married for more than half my life when I made the decision to walk away in faith, knowing that God had my back.
Right.
So I'm in my 40s, but I was like acting like I was in my 20s, and I had to get a grip there, you
Let it
know.
up. I
So
got some kids. I got some good kids.
yeah, exactly. So I think if I were to say about an internal struggle, it would be that. But I have some great guy friends, and when God puts that right man that He has chosen for me in my life,
Mhm.
then
Mhm.
it's got to be a compliment. It's got to be an asset where we both bring a life of harmony and balance and support and encouragement and
Right.
ambition together. Because I'm not going
Well,
to slow someone down.
speaking of
They're not going to slow me down.
right. That which I wonder if, and I know this may be a little personal, tell me if I'm going too far, but do as being an entrepreneur as a woman, you got to make decisions that makes you probably someone that's a little bit more in the household, take charge.
Yeah, I mean, like
That's just ours
I
are.
don't mind making
Is that
decisions.
an obstacle?
Yeah, listen, I can make decisions all day long when it comes to running a corporation and running a company. But you also want, I want my Boaz to be that man that will say, "Okay, honey, this is
Right.
where we're going." And this, give me choices. Don't ask me what do I want to do. No, because at that point, I want to turn my phone off and turn my mind off. And if you're taking me on a
Right.
date, then take me on a date. It's you take
Right.
not
Right.
the otherwise. So yeah, I don't know. But anyway, I'm spilling all my tea right now.
I know, all on the World Wide Web. So if there are any good looking men out there that want a fabulous woman, it started here. It started here on Just Talking Business.
Oh God.
Look, we'll have to bring you both back on if that happens.
Well, you know what? From your mouth to God's ears, we'll see. Oh Lord.
Well, thank you so much. I don't want to take up all your time today, and I do thank you for jumping in and saying that you would do this show because, again, when we had a chance to see each other, like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, at a gala, and you were kind of sharing, this information about, how you've evolved. So, and I know I've shared with anybody that will listen, I'm on this scale up kick. I'm really about how do we scale and to talk to someone who's walking the walk just really motivates and helps you start thinking through what are some ways that you can do that. So I really thank you for coming on and telling our audience what are some of the ways you've been able to do it. And hopefully it'll inspire others to do the same. Before we go, how can we find you? And especially, the 2 locations of where you are with the work and products that you're providing.
Oh, okay, sure. And I forgot that I'm also on a wholesale platform, so I'm seeking, more retail distribution. So the goal is to continue to grow. My e-commerce business, RoryLee.com, is booming. I just mailed a package to North Carolina, and I just
Nice.
received an order yesterday from Chicago. So the retail line is on e-commerce, RoryLee.com. And then here in South Florida, a Sealy Beauty and Wellness, which is a beautiful beauty and wellness store in downtown Hollywood. My makeup line is there. And then it's also in a fabulous shop up in Boca Raton, called Vegan Fine Body. So my products are also at Vegan Fine Body. And then they also have a spa facial room. So I do my professional skin therapy there in their spa facial room, in addition to the products that are in the shop. And then in North Miami, at a med spa, which is fantastic, very high technologically, state of the art, cosmetic, I call it CMA for short, but comprehensive medical aesthetics, with Dr. Rudy Moise. So I practice out of there as well. So my esthetician license is hanging in 2 places, and my retail product line is here local in 2 places. It's also in Africa, in Rwanda, at La Cabana Spa. So if you ever get to Kigali, you've got to go check them out. And let's see. Outside of that, where else can you find me? On the movie set, on the TV set, working with you. Doing some new commercials.
Stay tuned. I will be calling.
I know. But, yeah, I'm on all the social media sites where, Makeup by Rory Lee and RoryLee.com. So.
Okay. Well, thank you so much again for joining us. Definitely check it all out. I've definitely used her products. They are amazing. And if you like what you saw in the picture earlier, she's the lady. As a matter of fact, I think I had somebody call me one time and go, "Who's the person that did your makeup? I want to do some pictures." So
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm grateful to you, and to the other producers and ad agencies and marketing companies, as well as all of the television networks that book us, here locally as well as globally. It's an honor, and we appreciate the opportunity to be of service. On behalf of me and my team, we're very grateful.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'll talk soon for sure.
Thank you, Stephanie. Have a great rest of your day.
You too.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in.
Hello. So again, we were supposed to be pre-recording, but it turns out it was a live show. I am very excited about that because I haven't talked to y'all live in a very long time. So thank you again to Rory for joining us. I really think I learned a lot with regards to passion and really letting your passion drive your scale. So we are very grateful that she shared that information with us. We will be back here again next Tuesday afternoon at 6 o'clock. Thank you for continuing to join us and listen to our guests share a wealth of information about how to run a business. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great day.